Yeah, hi guys. This is just well, you could say it's rather synchronistic what's happened. I was discussing yesterday on my last video. We were talking about geoengineering. We were talking about the sulfur veil they were putting up in the sky, and also I discussed with you. I talked about iron fertilization. Story in the news today, but first I'm going to explain to you about iron fertilization, which is a part of geoengineering. So they're not just doing it in the sky, they're doing it out at sea as well. We have to remember that. So iron fertilization is the international introduction of iron to the upper ocean to stimulate a phytoplankton bloom. This is intended to enhance biological productivity, which can benefit the marine and food chain. And it's under investigation, they're saying, whether or not it's going to be successful, but they're trying it. They say it's to take out carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Okay, so iron fertilization, when they do it, I'm going to show you what happens. As we all know, iron, when it goes rusty, you know, the rusty colour, or the colour of rust, yeah? What happens is once they put this stuff into the sea, it makes the algae bloom, and there's certain types of algae that are harmful, but these things that they're doing and what it produces is a red colour, and they're even saying it causes red tides and other toxic phenomena. Okay, so don't forget that there's other things happening here, as well as having the red tide. Now there's an actual picture here that you can see, and this water, this colour, you can see it approaching the shoreline, and it's sort of like a rusty red colour. And that's happened because they've placed stuff, you know, probably out at sea down here somewhere far away where you can't see. They're putting stuff into the sea, and then it's coming in and it's causing these things to bloom, and it's unnatural. Okay, they're saying they do this because it makes there's an actual bit here, they describe it. This is crazy. See, I'm learning some of this myself too, so you have to bear with me. But what it does is, once the stuff comes out of the sea, it actually creates part of cloud cover. It increases cloud cover, because let me see here, I'll read it. Some species of plankton produce DMS, a portion of which enters the atmosphere, which is oxidized by hydroxyl radicals, atomic chlorine and bromine monoxide, to form sulfate particles and potentially increase the cloud cover. So they're doing this out at sea, so that it then goes up into the atmosphere and it turns into particulates and it turns into cloud, guys. This is nuts. So when we see all those thick, crazy clouds drifting in, and I've often wondered, because I see them coming in sort of from the west, from where I am, they usually come in. And I have often wondered, I wonder if they're, you know, coming across the Pacific Ocean, you know, these big clouds that we don't see where they're coming from. And I actually, you know, I've thought this before, and just reading up on some of this stuff, I actually think that's what they're doing. They've got some sort of, you know, section of the sea where they do some of these things. And I have seen like big, like chimney things that they're supposed to have out at sea as well, which are pumping out this fake cloud. And it's just crazy. So they're not just doing it in the sky, they're doing it out at sea as well. And it's all part of the geoengineering and the trying to mess with Mother Nature and change the weather to suit their own agenda, which I mentioned in yesterday's video is all to do with financial gain and power. So to go along with this story, the part that I thought was really synchronistic, and it's really freaked me out actually, there's a story in the, I think it's a Telegraph, story in the Telegraph today. Sydney beached by a crimson tide as algal bloom invades. So I've just been explaining to you what happens when they do this. I've even shown you a picture of it, and it's a rusty red colour, and they're geoengineering in Sydney. What a surprise. Yeah, they're doing it everywhere. So you know, if they're saying a few tourists were feared and they were worried about this blood red tide yesterday. And, you know, it sits rather well with the whole apocalyptic agenda that they've got going on as well. You know, Red Seas, we've read about that. Sea will turn blood red and blah, blah, blah. Don't panic, people. It's not the end of the world, because man did this. Okay? Man did this. And I just want to tell the people in Sydney as well, they have closed Bondi Beach. They're not allowing people on there. But a few people are still surfing in this, and there are a few tourists as well who are ignoring the lifeguards, and they are surfing and swimming in this pink sludge stuff, right? But just to remind you, where am I? Just to remind you, this stuff is toxic. It says there are other toxic phenomena that go with this. So just be really careful. You know, it could probably cause skin rashes. They're saying it in the story, you know, it is harmful to humans. It could cause skin rashes and, you know, other problems. Just be careful. You certainly don't want to be breathing that stuff in or getting it inside your bodies. So to the people in Sydney, please stay out of the water until this shit is gone. Funnily enough, also, Sydney, it says here it's one of the warmest years they've had. And also, this weekend is predicted to be Sydney's warmest for the year. And they're going to be well into their 30s. So this is just a bit strange. They've just done that in their ocean, and they're going to be hitting the 30s. So you can bet your bottom dollar, right, that there is going to be severe cloud coverage over Sydney this weekend. And if anybody's watching this video or you know somebody in Australia, please, can you let me know? If you live in Sydney, this weekend, can you please keep an eye on the sky and tell me what happens in your part of the world? Are they going to try and shut down this heat you're supposed to be getting? You know, are they going to try and get some heat in and then trap it in? And then that's how they're going to say the whole global warming hoax, is that this is how they're doing it. So keep an eye on your skies in Sydney. But just want to say to all of those that believe this is a picture of the end of the world and it's apocalyptic and the seas have turned blood red. They haven't turned blood red. They've turned rusty red. It's called iron fertilization, and it's a geoengineer thing that they use for the geoengineering project that is ongoing now. So we know they do the chemtrails, they're doing the iron fertilization, and they've got space mirrors as well, trying to beam away the sun, and God knows what else. So like I said, keep an eye on your skies, people. Let me know what it's like in Sydney. I'm not sure if I've got any subs from Sydney. It'd be lovely to hear from you, and just let me know what happens this weekend. You're supposed to be hitting the 30s. Be very interested to see what your skies are like after this amount of crap has been put into our ocean, our beautiful ocean. Look what's happened to it. Look what they've done to it. And I bet they never asked anybody in Australia if they could do that. No. So it's not the end of the world. This is nothing apocalyptic. Anybody telling you that it is just going along with the hype, right? Anyone who's preaching it is going along with the hype. This is not the end of the world. This is not apocalyptic. This is geoengineering, man-made iron fertilization in the ocean. Peace out, people. One love.